Welcome to Thoughts Roundup. It's so nice to be with you again today. And I've been privileged to be with Brother Jason Calhoun for 2 days. We had church last night and we made a video last night. And I wanted to speak with him just a little bit. And I told you some time back, I said, whenever I find the proper time, the proper moment, I have a couple of hats that I wanted to use for the program. And so, Brother Calhoun, I brought you this one. You can just wear this one.
I hope it fits.
It will. Oh, it'll
like
fit.
It will.
No,
I'm glad it's a white hat because the good guys wear the white hats.
Good guys wear white hats. That's what they used to say.
Oh, there it is, man.
I guess you drive a Chevrolet or something. I think they used to say that for Chevrolet, didn't it?
Yeah, tip of the hat to
Well, hey, what about this right here?
Oh, man.
Not as good as you.
Well,
Not as good as you, but
it's more outdoorsy to me.
yeah, more outdoors. Well, I'll tell you what. We probably look like a rabbit under a cabbage leaf.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Well, Brother Calhoun, your new church.
Yes,
Your new church, it looks so good.
Well, thank you.
Tell us a little. I could get there, but I don't. With maybe a little help from GPS and all. But what's the location? What in town?
Well, it's right on I-30.
Texarkana, we're
Yes,
talking
sir.
about.
It's right on Interstate 30. Really right in the center of Texarkana. Not too far from the state line. Actually, it's between the state line and the first exit in Texarkana. On the interstate, and of course, you enter by the frontage road.
How many does that church seat?
They said it's seated 700, but I think it would be pretty tough to seat 700.
Well, you had a good lot of folks there last night.
Not 700.
No, well, you didn't have 700, you will, but it wasn't full, but it was comfortable there with the way everyone
The Lord
was
has
seated.
blessed us, and we're thankful.
Oh yeah, and it's such a beautiful church. Your church that you moved from was also a beautiful church, but this is more new and more everything. And
Right. It's just a better location, and it gives us a little bit more exposure in town.
yes,
It helps us to. We just had scores of guests since we made this move. It's been amazing. This last weekend, and I know it was Mother's Day, but
it's
it was
more
just a lot.
accessible.
Oh, absolutely, and it, people are curious. They see us move out there. It's 7.5 acres, elongated along the interstate, so it's about at least a half a mile that we own property on frontage. So I mean, you're driving along there and you get it. You see all of it there, and there's the sanctuary building and the event center, so it gives us a good eye appeal from the road.
Yes, sir. Well, now, how long have you been preaching?
I've been preaching right at 30 years.
30 years. Well, everyone talks about you, and a lot of young preachers want to be like you. They want to emulate you.
I don't know about all that.
I know, and I noticed that, of course, you always have, your ministry has always been far-reaching, but I noticed that you're preaching a lot of conferences and camps and at camps and this and that. And I think it is so good for your influence to be felt.
Well, it means a lot for you to say that. I sure want to be a positive influence where we can.
Yeah.
I feel honored to be called to preach. I think it's the highest calling in the world.
Well, yeah, that's right. Folks, there's just one little bit of worldliness he has. That's he drives a red truck.
For now.
For that, oh, I'm not criticizing that. I love it. That's a beautiful red truck.
Well, I said for now because I'm apt to change. You know that.
You do that. You do that every so often. Well, I tell you what, you do need a step ladder to get up in there, though. That truck is not made for old men.
Yes.
After you finally get up in there, you wonder how you'll ever get down.
I have had them a little bit higher, but
Have you really?
yes.
Oh, well. Well, I tell you what, it has just been a delight. We played 9 holes of golf this morning.
Let's don't talk about that.
And he, you know what he did? He said, could we go to the back 9? And I was just having so much trouble on the back 9 because it was so rough. I felt like tigers and bears was going to come out of the woods. It was so, and all of a sudden he says, the front 9 is real smooth and easy. And was you trying me out?
No, what I thought is that we was going to get behind some folks up there, and that's why I took the back 9, because I knew we would be a little slower. But if we'd have had these lucky hats on, we'd done a lot better.
We'd done a lot
It kept the sun off of us.
We might have
Could
stayed
have
a
seen
little
further because we hadn't had the sun in our eyes.
The
Only thing that might have been better is the sombrero.
Sombrero?
Yeah,
How'd you say it?
sombrero.
So I know I'm wrong.
Well, I don't know about that. I got a wife that speaks Spanish, but that doesn't mean I do.
Well, then, okay, you've got the book. You've got the
I
dictionary.
still say enchilada and tacos. And tamale. She's got a funny way of saying tamale.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you make a stab at how she might say it?
She calls it tamal.
Tomorrow.
That must be the Spanish way.
Must be the Spanish way. Well, I tell you what, folks, I am so glad that the ones that don't know, Brother, what was your special?
Special speaker. Tell that story. That'd be a good one.
I'll tell that story and we'll close with this. I have a problem, and have had for 50 years or more, remember names. About the minute that I need it, it's gone. And so I went he was preaching a camp meeting in Louisiana. What town was that?
It was actually men's meeting at
Men's
Jennings.
meeting at Jennings, Louisiana. And they asked me to come and say a word just as a visiting preacher. And I was going to mention Brother Calhoun, and your name left me, and
You just hung your eye up there.
I said, it's so nice to be here tonight with the visiting preacher.
You said the guest speaker.
The guest speaker. Yes, the guest speaker. See, I forgot that. The guest speaker. And so I was hoping that nobody caught it. I thought maybe I'd get by. And we were outside the next day, and he looked at me and said, well, since I'm the guest speaker, and I knew what he was talking about. Well, it's so nice to be with you today, and nice to be with you, Brother Guest Speaker Cal.
Well, you're the only one that I would try this hat on for, I promise.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, that's not a bad hat, though.
Yeah, I kind of
Is it?
look like sheriff or something on
Well, listen, you can't, that's as good as you can get from a truck stop.
it. Yeah, I believe that.
God bless you, folks.